And I wanted to discuss where to take any of your credit card complaints. The Consumer Finance Protection Bureau has opened a one-stop complaint center for all credit card related issues. Until recently, if you've had a complaint, you had to work with the individual credit card company on your own. And now they're trying to make it, or they are making it a lot easier. And again, it's because of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau had a lot of things they're doing in my arena on the mortgage side. But today I just want to talk about making it easier for you consumers on the credit card side. You can go to consumerfinance.gov and click on the Submit a Credit Card Complaint. And this will take you to a simple form that you can put your concerns in or your complaint, about 30 different items that you can choose from, billing disputes and credit card increase or decreases, things that are happening. You'll also be asked how much money that you lost, if any, and when the incident occurred and what you have already done to resolve the problem. Next, you'll be asked to describe the problem and provide your contact information. You can expect a written confirmation directly from the CFPB, which will forward your complaint to the actual credit card company themselves. Now, once you've registered your complaint, you can check the status online, and if the credit card company doesn't respond in a timely manner and resolve the complaint, the CFPB receives a number of similar complaints on that, and then they'll launch an investigation. So there's a lot of accountability behind this to ensure that the credit card companies are being a little more consumer friendly, and it puts a lot of accountability in that area. So some things that the credit card companies don't want you to know, I thought it'd be fun to list these things out for you. And anytime I go through the information a little bit quicker, then you can take notes, or maybe you might be driving, so you definitely don't want to take notes. You can always go to themoneyhour.com and listen to the podcast, re-listen to any of the shows that I have in studio. So first thing they don't want you to know is that they're waiting for you to have a late payment. If you didn't know that credit card companies are hoping that you're going to make late payments. Despite new credit card rules, there are still many factors that can cause a credit card issuer to raise your interest rate. Among them is when a lender reviews your credit history and decides to change the terms of your credit card after they've been informed that you've missed a payment with another credit card company. So you're late on another credit card company, they get that information and actually shows that there's risk that you could be late on their credit card, and they can actually increase your interest rate based on that information. Now, the Credit Card Accountability, Responsibility, and Disclosure Act does offer consumers some protection should your credit card company change the terms of your credit card. In most cases, they can only do this on purchases moving forward. In most cases. But if you see that it's happening on things that have already been charged, you definitely want to check into that on things that you've already had a balance that you've occurred. Prior to the reforms, most of the credit card companies would review risk on an average every 90 days. Now, second thing is with the Credit Card Act, companies need to give you at least 45 days advance notice before making any significant changes to your account, such as increasing your rate or changing the fees. So if your credit card company is going to make changes to the terms of your credit card, they must give you the option to cancel the card before the changes take effect. You now have the right to reject any of these new terms, and if you reject the changes, the credit card company can either maintain the account under the existing terms for your previous balance or close the account. Either way, your responsibility for paying, obviously, the balance and the original terms do apply. Third, credit card companies can't increase your interest rate for the first 12 months. With some exceptions, there's always exceptions to the rule, but exceptions such as you're an adjustable rate mortgage, there's an introductory rate of maybe like a 60-day period. So if that's in your original contract and an agreement with the credit card company, then that changes that. But otherwise, it's a minimum 12 months before they can increase that. There are restrictions over the limit transactions, so you must opt in allowing transactions to take you over your limit. So if you don't, and they allow the transaction to go through and you can't afford that amount or the fee associated to that, then that's something as a complaint I would definitely send in as well. And last, there are caps on cards. And if your credit card company requires you to pay the fee, such as an annual fee or an application fee, the fees can't total more than 25% of the original initial credit limit. For example, if your initial credit limit was $500, the fees for the first year cannot exceed $125. So a little bit of money chat there. And I actually, before we go to commercial here, I want to give you a bio again. If you missed the introduction to the show, today's show is going to be all about real estate, and it's going to be a panel of 3 experts in our local real estate market. And I want to give you a little background on each of them. Jeff Prescott, RE/MAX Metro Realty. Jeff moved from Portland to Seattle of 1986. He came here without a job, and a friend suggested him getting into the real estate industry, which he did. He got his license. And a year later, in 1987, he earned Rookie of the Year. Now with RE/MAX Metro, Jeff has over 25 years experience, and he's worked through many economic cycles in his career and is committed to making our house stock increasingly efficient with energy use and repurposing existing materials for new use. So that's my first guest for the panel today. My second guest in studio, Carrie Scott, and she's with John L. Scott. Carrie's lived and conducted business in the Seattle metro area for 20 years. She is recognized as one of the top agents in the Seattle metro office or Seattle metro area, with 90% of all of her business repeat and referral due to her Nordstrom quality of service. Carrie uses her time, energy, and resources to invest in her clients' relationships. Her approach of investing in her clients give them the trust and confidence to not only use her again, but to refer her. Consistently in the top 1% of John L. Scott company-wide 2013. And my last guest in studio, John Greco with Windermere Real Estate, Wall Street. John is known as your go-to guy, providing an invaluable resource of lifelong assistance to his clients. His goal is to establish lasting business relationships with his clients, not just for one sale, but for their life. He will earn your confidence with your first transaction and be your real estate consultant of choice. He knows the local real estate conditions, he knows the local market conditions, and has the resources available to assist you with every aspect in the real estate process. So pretty amazing guest. As regular listeners to the show, you know I only bring the best of the best in the industry in studio. So all of those, all of my guests in studio are just that. And if you need any assistance, please feel free to pick up the phone. Give the show a call, 1-855-400-1150, and I can connect you with any of the guests that I have here today. And we'll get back to our panel, or start the panel, right here at 1150 AM KKNW after this short break.